let's make a ledge jumping plugin. The purpose of this will be if I have this ledge here and these ledges here, then well, I guess pop one here as well. If the player continues to move towards this this thing here, then the plugin will register that the character is trying to move onto a ledge, and then if they keep pressing and they keep holding, then it will trigger some kind of jump for them to jump down to the space underneath. So instead of being, they will start jumping here and they will end here. It's something I've seen in sort of Pokemon games where you can jump down and across ledges and you can't jump up. But I thought we may as well add in just every directional jumping for this. And it's up to the dev what they want to do, if they allow upward jumping or not, whatever. So yeah, I think I'll pick one and you can just dot the region on the map. So I've got a base plugin here set up. And I've got this template parameter here. I'm just going to add this in, ledge region, maybe say ledge region ID, ledge region ID. We don't need to put a description in, it's pretty self-explanatory. We'll pop a number in, we'll just default to 1. Okay, so let's set up a plugin name, ledge jumping. This has to be the same name as your file here, I believe. Then we can do const parameters equals plugin manager dot parameters, and then the plugin name. This is accessing the parameters we set up here. And now we can say ledge region ID is equal to parameters dot ledge region ID. But it's a number, so we want to probably catch this in. We want to cast it like this, number, and then we'll say either take this value, but if that value doesn't exist, we'll just substitute it with 1. So that's the basis. How do we move? Let's see. First of all, I'm thinking maybe scene map. There's maybe something in scene map that tells it when a player moves. Update might be in here. Update destination. I'm not sure if this is destination as in which scene, or if if you want to move a different scene, or if this is position. So let's just keep looking. This is okay. This is maybe for touch input, which means we might need something like this. It's map touch. Okay, process map touch. Okay, yeah. So we need to set the destination somehow. On map touch, let's see. Set destination. Now I wonder if this is what happens anyway if you press a key. Let's see. Yeah. Set destination. Game temp, set destination. Let's check out. Okay, this is in here, I believe. Game temp. Oh, not core, objects. Yeah. Game temp, right at the top here. Destination. What else calls this? Let's see. References. Set destination. Nothing here. Okay. Nothing there. See scenes. Only on map touch so far. Huh. Let's see. Game character is another one that I know of. Believe maybe not game character base, but game character is what we see on the screen moving around, or maybe that's game player. Is it game player? Yeah, contains events, starting determinants, and map scrolling functions. Move by input. Execute move direction. Interesting. Let's take this and see what we can do with it. Console log moving. Nothing. Oh, I do this every single time. Need to actually include the plugin, and I will just remove the theme because it's kind of annoying. Okay, let's see what happens now if we press a button. Okay, so it's just going the whole time. Yeah, okay, so it's some kind of update function, runs all of the time. If you're not moving and you can move, okay. So we want to have this inside somewhere. Maybe execute move is the better option here, but we need to figure out if execute move only works if you physically can move, which I think it probably is set up that way, or if it triggers and just doesn't actually move you. For example, if you're touching a blockable wall or a blocked square. Okay, so here's moving. Get input direction. If direction is greater than 0, clear destination. I wonder if this somehow returns greater than 0 if you're not pressing anything. And that's why it just says, well, just clear the destination, that's fine. Oh no, hold on. If direction is greater than 0, Clear the destination, but then also execute the move in that direction. I'm not sure what the purpose of this is. If the destination is valid, set the destination, find the direction, and then move in that direction. Yeah, maybe this. Well, let's just try this, because if it does what I want it to do, then we don't need to worry about the other part. Okay, okay, moving, moving, moving. So this is the important one. Is it going to show? It is. Okay, that's great. So essentially, we can look into move straight and see what happens in there. So only if you can move should we update the followers. Alright, how would I get the tile data or the region data? I've never looked into messing around with regions before, so this is interesting. How do we get the region from a tile? Nothing here. Region. Very interesting. We can use a global variable and say region ID for this position. That looks great for what we want. So let's say we try and catch the region ID. Direction is where we're moving, so I think we can do direction times 2 to get the position in front of us. Also, what is direction? Let's console log direction to find out exactly what we're working with, and we will try and catch a region ID here. Hopefully direction is giving us an X and a Y coordinate. 2, 2. Okay, so 8 is up, 6 is right, 4 is left, 2 is down. Can we do the reverse here? Oh, you know what? Find direction to X. X and Y, sorry. Let's see. Find direction to, and then we've got X and Y. Is there the reverse of this? Okay, this. Okay, we may just have to type it out. So if direction is equal to 2, then we do something here. Let's say let X equal maybe nothing, and then we'll run them through here. Direction is equal to, oh, I can't remember already. Let's see. Down is 2, which means X equals 0, Y equals 1. if direction equals 4, this is going to be left. So x equals -1 and y equals 0. X equals down left, so this is probably up. So we'll just say y equals 1, and this is probably right. So x equals 1, y equals 0. So we can probably do x times 2 and y times 2 to get the region ID. So the reason I would do this is because one of them is 0, which means multiplying by 2 just equals 0 anyway. And then the value that has the 1 or the -1, if you multiply it by 2, instead of getting the tile in front of you, oh yeah, no, actually we don't need this. I'm being silly again. Yeah, we only need the 1. So what this, I was thinking we needed the tile after this, but we don't. We just need the tile that we are trying to move to. Let's console log the region ID now, because this we're getting the region ID for, if we're looking down, we will say move along the X 0, which means stay here, and then go +1 on the Y, which I believe goes down here. So it's looking at this tile here. And if we're moving along the way, we're checking this tile. If we move up, we're checking this tile. Move right, we're checking this tile. All right, let's just see what this comes back as then. Oh, yeah, we're still doing this, which is just getting in the way. 0. 0 no matter what we do. Interesting. I wonder if... Oh, this is just checking 1 and 0 or 0 and 1, -1, blah blah blah. This isn't relative to our position. So I'm wondering if GamePlayer has something like GamePlayer.x, GamePlayer.y, because then we can make the position relative to where we're standing. It's got new x, new y. Well, let's take the shortcut. We will just console log this. So we'll console log game player and see what we have access to. I believe it probably is something like X and Y. A lot of our RPG Maker uses that sort of terminology. Yep, there we go. _X, _Y. Oh, it has real X and real Y. I wonder if that's position. So X and Y is probably the point on the map. So if you start at 0 here, you go all the way along. Maybe this is like 26, 27, 28. But on the screen, it's going to be a different X and Y position, isn't it? Because you can move all the way along, and if the screen is wider and the screen follows your character to center your character, then suddenly you're going to be back in the middle, and it'll be X, Y, X, and then Y, the real position, but also the position on the map. So one of these is going to be the position on the map, and one of these is going to be the actual position on the screen. I'm not sure which is which, so I will just use X and Y and see what happens. So I guess we can start off X as this dot X and Y equals this Y, and instead of making this equals, we can just add y plus equals 1, x plus equals, and we've also gotten rid of some lines of code. So hopefully now we'll start getting a real answer for the region ID. 0, 0, 0, 1. Ah, now it says 1. Great. So it looks like we've got it. So that says 0 and then that says 1. Very interesting. So why does this say 1? Probably need to console X and Y as well, just to make sure it's actually what we think it is. Let's do the backticks so we can put in directly the code. So we do X and Y like this. 8 and 7. 7 and 7. Let's get a bit closer to the edge. Okay, so this is 0, 0. And this is, yeah, okay. Huh. Okay, I think I've just messed up the these, to be honest. I think this is what's going wrong. Let's just try X and Y, because I feel like the last two are the only ones I could have messed up. I think I checked the other two thoroughly. Let's see. So when I press up, that says 0 and 1, which is good. If I press that, it's minus and Y. That says X and Y. And then I'll go back and say and 1. Uh, oh, this should be Y minus 1, right? Let's go back in the corner. Let's see. Minus 1, plus 1. Okay, minus X, plus X. Okay, now let's see. 1. If I go to the side and I go to the side, it says 0. Okay. 1. Now let's try this one. 1, 1, 1, 1, 1. Yep. And go to this one. 1. Okay, that looks good now. It's spitting out 1 when we're touching the barriers, and it's 0 when we're touching just nothing. Okay, so let's get rid of some of these comments to clear it up a bit. We know we're getting the correct region, or so I think anyway. It looks like we're getting the right region. Let's keep the region ID. No, no. I wanted X and Y actually. Wonder if I can just do that. I'm gonna make the map wider. And let's pop some more of these over here. And then we'll put some regions on again. And maybe I did also want the region ID. Okay, let's go again. Let's go all the way over here. 1, nothing, sweet. 1, nothing, and then 1, nothing. Alright, it looks like X and Y was the right choice, and real X and Y probably is the actual screen position rather than the map position. Okay, so now I want to do something where this only calculates I guess we only want to calculate that. So that, yeah, I'm trying to think of the logic here. Let's pop out some comments. So we only want it to run when we are blocked. Now this might not be so important if we basically force it upon the dev to say, well, if you want a ledge, it's up to you to make it blocked off. When else should it be running? Well, we need to catch the region ID of the last region we bumped against. Then in the code, if we bump against the wall again, we check against the last region we touched. If it is the same, start adding to a counter. If the counter reaches a threshold, make the player jump. And then there needs to be some sort of update where if the player has stopped holding the move button, reset the counter. Alright, so I think this is what we're looking to do. We can maybe do get and move direction. And if it's 0, that might mean we're not moving at all. So at the start here, we'll get the direction. We'll spit out the direction, and then we'll just take it from there. Already been declared. Oh, I see. Oh. Okay, this is maybe a bad place for this then. Maybe it is inside here. Let's alias this. So we'll say const game player dot move by input equals game player move by input. We probably want to do it afterwards, so call, pass in this. So yeah, I want to see this say 0 essentially, because if it says 0, we can always reset the jump counter. Okay, wonderful. So we just say if direction equals 0, reset the ledge jump counter. Maybe we can also just put in and this dot ledge jump counter is greater than 0. So we only reset it if it needs reset. And when we execute the move, we need to have some way of knowing what the last region ID was. So maybe we want to reset this here as well. We'll say last touched region ID, something like that. Let's go maybe -1. if this last touch region ID is equal to region ID, we also need to check if this is matching the one we put in here. If the region ID is equal to the ledge region ID, so if we are touching a ledge and the last thing we touched was a ledge, start counting on the counter. Ledge jump counter plus plus. Now this is going to be frame dependent, so we could do some FPS work here, get the frames per second, and then calculate it from that, calculate how much we should add from that, which I think is a good idea. So to do, just as a reminder, FPS to calculate how much to increase by here. And we'll say plus equals 1 because we want to add 1. And this'll matter more, I believe, after we add in the FPS thing. Because at the moment we could just do plus plus, which means 1, but we will change it to say plus 1 multiplied by the how many frames passed last second or something. Essentially delta time from other game. Yeah, just delta time. If you don't know what delta time is, have a look online. It's essentially the time between the last frame and the new frame. So one way of making your code frame independent is just to multiply everything by delta time. Delta time is the amount of time that has passed since the last frame. So if you think in an ideal world, a certain amount of time will pass every single frame in between frames. So you'll say frame 1, so many milliseconds goes past, frame 2, the exact same amount of milliseconds goes past, frame 3. That would be an ideal world where you can say just add 1 every time that frame happens. But we don't live in an ideal world. The amount of time between frames will change, and so what you want to do in order to keep this value consistent, so consistently added over real time, is multiply this number by some kind of delta time. And I think we need to access the frames per second that's built in here somewhere, and then we can say just multiply this value we want to increase by each frame, multiply that by the time that passed the in the last yeah, get myself muddled up there. Just multiply this number by the delta time, which is the amount of time that passed since the last frame. You can read up on that if you want to know more, but it's kind of self-explanatory, but I understand it maybe doesn't make enough sense without a really good example. Um, First person, third person sort of movement is a good example of why this is important. If you just increase your movement speed every frame without multiplying by the delta time, it'll be very choppy as each frame doesn't happen at the exact same time all the time. But that's a bit more into it than I wanted to get right now. So let's see. We increase the ledge jump counter. Let's just console log this before we try and do anything else. So hopefully this is all we have console logging out, because I want to see if we hold the button towards a ledge, it should start counting up, and then when we let go, it should stop. Nothing? Nothing. Okay. Let's see. Oh, we don't actually set the region ID. Maybe afterwards we can say if the region ID is equal to the ledge region ID and the last touch region does not equal region ID, then we'll set this last touch region equal to region ID. So this means the first time you press up against a ledge wall, this will get skipped over because it's not the same one you last touched. But then this will run afterwards, which then says, well, set this current ID, the current region we're touching, set that equal to the last region, or the last touch region. So then the next time this runs, because we keep holding the movement button, it will run this because this will be set. So hopefully the logic is correct. And let's see. Not a number. That's fine. At least it's doing something when we press. Because look, we get rid of that, and then we start pressing again. It starts showing again. So this is what we're looking for. Maybe just because I haven't set this up, it's giving me some dodgy feedback. Let's find where the game player is set up. That's probably a good way to do it. Is there an initialize? Game player init member initialize. Probably this init members. So we want to alias this as well. Game player init members. So I believe members here probably just means the properties. Okay, game player prototype init members, and then we'll just add to the bottom of it. We'll say this ledge jump counter equals 0, and this last touch region ID is going to be -1. And then we'll call the init members, pass in this. Let's see if this is good enough, or if we get not a number again. There we go, it's counting up. So now all we need to do is have some kind of threshold and then figure out how to make them jump. Which I'm hoping it's not too tricky, because I haven't really done code that involves moving the character around on the map. Now we can probably get rid of this then. Now you know what? What happens if I stop pressing that? I didn't check that. So if we, oh, all right, cool. It starts again from 0. That's exactly what we wanted. Let's make a parameter for the threshold. Ledge, ledge jump time. Is time better? Ledge jump time. Let's do threshold. Let's do threshold. Ledge jump. But I don't think this is too self-explanatory, so I will add in the time. The player must walk towards the ledge before they will jump. And I'll just put out another line just to keep it nice. You know what? I don't know if that's okay actually. So just playing it cool or playing it safe, I'll keep it on this line. How long did I want that to go for? Let's see. Maybe 30. Maybe I don't want it to happen immediately. 30, at least you have to make the conscious effort to be holding for that long, about half a second. Right, ledge jump threshold, let's see. Ledge jump threshold. We'll just add in 30 there as well, because why not? Copy the name. So if this is building up, if we hit 30, if the ledge jump counter is greater than or equal to 30, then I want to jump over the ledge. Otherwise, we will just make them move straight, which probably won't do anything. Alright, so we need, I'm assuming we need to get the position, so I'm just going to cut straight to the chase and say, well, this one's going to be ×2 because we want to move to the second spot. So we'll say destination x equals x times 2, and let destination y equal y times 2. Oh, you know what? That's also not right. Alright, so this is going to make you jump really far if we do it this way. So what I'm going to do is take this out again, this x and this y, and I'm just going to add it here. This x plus x and this y plus y. Because then I can just say destination is going to be this dot x plus x times 2. This y plus y times 2. I think that's probably right. This is getting a bit long, and we're doing a couple of things here. We are gathering some kind of coordinate, and then we are deciding if it's the right region or not. This could all be extracted out into different functions. If it gets any bigger, I think I probably will do that. But at the moment, it's still compact enough, I would say. And the fact that this is just a single plugin is only going to use this. If this was code that you were going to be using a lot, I would definitely recommend just getting rid of some of this code into functions of their own. Yeah. Okay, so let's find out. Where is Game Interpreter? Game Interpreter is what decides what to do with these commands that you give it. So if we say set move route and we do jump and then we give it some position, the game interpreter will run through all the commands here and decide how it should act, I guess. So I want to try and find set movement route and jump and see if we can sort of figure out how to make them jump based on that. Set movement route is this. Force move route params 1. What's params 1? Let's just console log params 1. This is how we figure stuff out. Oh, I didn't actually add in a move route though. Set move route, let's do jump, and we'll say move 2 on the X. Okay, so we've got some kind of list here. 0, code 14, parameters. And then 1, This is probably code 0 is probably just nothing, telling it that we have finished the input. And code 14 it must be jump. And the parameters move 2 on the X and 0 on the Y. So how do we figure this out? Force move route. What is character? Is this game character? Force move route. Let's go back to, well, let's just type here, force move route. Right, game character, force move route. Set move route. I don't understand how this is telling it to move unless it's simply an update thing. You set a load of flags here and then update will handle moving, maybe. Update routine move. Command, process move command. Maybe we're getting closer here. Game character, process move command. Here we go, move diagonally. Move forward, backwards, where is jump? Right, it's before wait and after move towards player. Jump, here we go. This dot jump, oh sweet, we can maybe just call this and make him jump. Right, let's see. Game player, is that a game character? Let's see. Game player. Yep, game player is a subclass of game character, so we should be able to just say this dot jump and then pass in destination X. You know what? I don't think we need destination X because it's just this part. Just this part we need. So it's not destination, it's more move X and maybe move Y. And then after we jump, or even before we jump, we maybe want to reset all these values again. Last touch region ID is going to be -1. You know what? I've typed this certainly enough times that I probably want to make this its own function. So let's say game player dot prototype reset ledge jumping. It's just going to be these two. But if you type something like that so often, if someone tries to change this at some point, instead of this being -1, we want it to be something else. It's just so much more hassle trying to find every point in which you did this, rather than just creating a function that does it all for you. So this reset ledge jumping, much tidier, much better. And we did it here. And also you don't need this comment anymore because it's obvious what you're trying to do. You've got a nicely named function now. And we just put it there as well. Oh. All right, let's try this out. I'm kind of excited. If this works just straight away, then very cool. I like it. I like it. Let's just see. Did I forget something? No. Probably should have updated the script or the plugin. Just change it out. Let's make this 120 just to see if it actually works. So I need to hold for a long time before it'll jump. Yep. Awesome. Okay. Let's see. Will this work? Okay. Yeah, this was fun. If you like this, like and subscribe and all that good stuff. All right. Thanks for watching. Bye bye.